Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So many of us guys were never taught how to properly groom ourselves or manscape. And in today's video, I thought it would be a great idea for me to share what I've learned throughout my time in the adult industry and how I groom myself and take care of myself. Every man should know how to groom themselves properly, because knowing how to groom yourself properly will save you so much embarrassment in the future from somebody mentioning something to you that kind of sticks with you, like, oh my gosh, you need to shave, or what's that smell, anything like that. So I think this video will help every one of you out there that was never taught how to properly manscape. Manscaping helps us as men to feel more confident and comfortable within ourselves, especially in the bedroom, because you want to feel comfortable with yourself when you take your pants off and take your shirt off. You don't want to feel like you have to cover yourself up or kind of conceal yourself from whoever you're with. So definitely manscape if you want to avoid those embarrassing moments in the future. Here are some basic tools that you'll need. This will be an instructional video, so in a moment here we're going to move over into my bathroom and I'm going to show you guys step by step what I do to manscape myself. So the first thing you'll need is a cordless buzzer with a guard. So this guard is actually removable, and this is the buzzer that I've been using for the past couple of years. It's the Philips Norelco One Blade, and it's got this interesting kind of a tip. But yeah guys, I found that this one barely ever nicks me, and I only get nicked with this if I'm being really fast with it and kind of like sloppy. If you're just getting started with using one of these, make sure you're going very slow and taking your time with it. Don't go fast with it because you will kind of nick yourself a little bit. But at the same time, it's a lot harder to nick yourself with this buzzer than a lot of the other mainstream buzzers on the market. So also the guard is very important. Make sure you guys get one that has a guard and that's cordless. So there's the first tool. Second tool, a handheld mirror. A handheld mirror is important for one of the steps that I'll show you guys, which involves your crack and hole. So definitely make sure you have a small handheld mirror, small enough that you can squat over it. And then you'll also need a straight edge. So I'll just grab this. This is just my keyboard, but anything with a straight edge that you can use as an alignment tool, just so when you're shaving, you're not shaving a crooked line. You guys will see what I'm talking about as we move into that portion. And then the last thing you're gonna need is a towel to lay down on the ground so that it can catch all of that excess hair that you're shaving off of yourself and it's not just left on the floor or in the sink like some people do. So without further ado guys, let's move over into the bathroom and get started with Manscaping 101. Okay you guys, so let's get started. I have my notes right here just so I don't miss anything. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is your face. Just so you know, these tips are removable too, and you can pick these up at Target. So check it out guys, they last for a while. I'm not sure exactly how long, but just don't be using the same one on your behind that you're using on your face. and vice versa. So let's get started. As you guys can see, I've been growing out my facial hair for about 2 months now, and I'm gonna keep it growing for about another week, so I'm not ready to shave it yet, but I do shave my face every morning. So right here where I'm not growing the hair, I get peach fuzz, and it just looks unkempt if I don't groom it every morning. So what I do is use the buzzer without the guard, which gets close to the skin, just like a razor blade would. So, and then what I also do, since I am growing the facial hair, is I will trim that out, because if you're not trimming your beard and your mustache, they can tend to look pretty scraggly too. And because I have lighter hair, I have to put even more effort into it, because it's not like I have black hair or dark hair where it would just, you can see it a lot more, and like the actual definition, a lot of it kind of blends in with my skin. So what I'll do is usually set it on like a 3 or 3.5. You don't want it to be too short because it will shave it off if you cut it too short. So you don't want to ruin all of your progress that you've made. So that's pretty much the face. That's all I really wanted to say about the face. Your face is the first thing that most people see, so it doesn't hurt to spend a little bit of extra time in the morning on your appearance. Alright, so let's move on to the next region. The next region I like to focus on is the pits. Now, I've actually had someone say something to me a couple years ago, mentioning that my armpit hair was too long, and before that moment, I never really thought about shaving my armpit hair. I always thought that's what girls do, you know? So I don't know why I thought that. It took that long for someone to say something to me for me to kind of make sense of it in my mind. Like, oh yeah, maybe I should start grooming my armpit hair. But mine are actually good. I don't need to do anything to them. I don't like when they're much longer than this, but a good way that I check to make sure that they're not too long is by dropping my arms to my side. And if you see any of the hair kind of peeking out through here or peeking out through the back on either side, that's kind of your sign of like, okay, let me trim it up a little bit. And when you're trimming the hair, you always want to use the guard. You never want to use it without the guard, because you just don't want to shave your armpit hair totally off, because that's really uncomfortable. It's itchy and it takes a while to grow back. So I like to set the guard at 4, which is like the perfect height. It's not too short, not too long, and just kind of go in. Usually what I'll do is just go down with the guard on. It catches more hair like that, but you will notice that the guard gets kind of clogged up, so periodically you'll have to clean out the guard. But it's common sense. You guys will see what I'm talking about when you try this, but there's nothing like some fresh and clean pits. And I will say this, guys, I'm not a medical professional, but I've noticed that keeping your armpits really well groomed like this, it helps to keep you smelling fresh and clean. A lot of us men sweat, especially during workouts and throughout the day. We sweat through our armpits a lot of the time, and a lot of smell comes from there. So if you have more hair, more of that odor can hang in that hair. And if you don't have as much hair, not as much odor is able to kind of fester in that hair. So, it's kind of like common sense, but do what you can, do what you feel comfortable with. That's just what I like to do, and I feel more confident when my pits look like this. Alright, so let's move on to the next region. The next region is your nips. Yes, your nips. And guys, as you can see, I barely have any body hair, but I do still grow body hair here and there. And one of those places is around my nipples. Now, they are nice and trimmed now and smooth, but sometimes I'll get these long, scraggly hairs that grow out of them, and it's just not a good look. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, ugh. So, over the years, I've started to trim the nipples. As you guys can see, you probably can, but there's little hairs around it, but none of those super long, scraggly hairs. So, make sure you focus on the nipples too, because those are usually the first things that people look at when you take your shirt off, at least if you're a man. Okay, you guys, so the next area that we're going to focus on is your crotch, this area. So from about here to here. But you don't want too much hair right here. You really don't. It's not 1970s anymore where that's kind of just natural and normal. You will get some weird looks if you walk around with a big bush like that. Now, nothing against anybody that likes those, and if that's your thing, cool. I'm not talking down on it at all. I'm just saying, for me and in my past experience, I've realized that keeping this area nice and trimmed and groomed works best for me. So let me show you guys what I do first. So the first thing I'll do is set my guard all the way down to the lowest, which is 0.5. So it's just about on the skin. And this guard acts as kind of a protector for that skin that's on the, the guys down there, the nuts. Us guys know that the skin on your nuts is kind of loose, and that's usually the part where we nick ourselves the most. And I think using this guard and listening to these steps will help you to avoid nicking yourself in the future. So what you're gonna do, and I wish I had something I could use to kind of show you guys, but you're gonna grab your nuts, okay? You're gonna kind of squeeze them so they're tight, and so the skin is kind of stretched over them. And then you're just going to take your buzzer, buzz the hair off, shave the hair off. You're gonna have to do that on multiple different areas of your nuts. So, you know, shift your hand position around, move the Peter around, hold him up, do underneath the hem, all of that. Because a lot of people don't know this, but having clean shaven nuts actually makes your package look bigger, and it makes it feel better, in my opinion. It just makes it feel more smooth and less scraggly, if you know what I mean. So that is the first step, guys. Once you do the nuts, then what you're gonna do is this area. I almost want to call it like your landing strip area. Let's just call it your happy trail area. Because I can finally grow a happy trail. After all these years, I wanted to grow a happy trail, and I finally have one. So take the guard off of your buzzer, and then take your straight edge. I'm just using a ruler here. From about 1.5 inches up from the base of your package. And then you'll see a bunch of loose hairs over here and maybe over here and stuff. Then you're just gonna start using that guide as a leveling tool to kind of make sure that you shave a straight line across. Now I find that that looks really good. I like the way it looks when I'm done with it. And another thing I wanted to mention is to avoid shaving your happy trail. A lot of guys, including myself, like the happy trail. We find it very attractive. So try your hardest not to shave the happy trail. I don't know if you guys can see mine a little bit. Follow the natural crease where your legs right here meet your crotch area, and get that hair too. So like move your legs like this, you know what I mean? Move your friend over here, move him over here. You really just want to make sure you get it all so it looks nice and well kept. So now we're going to focus on grooming your crack in your hole. So here, I have my little mirror. I don't even know if I was taught this or if I kind of discovered this on my own accord, but you just take your mirror, and this makes it a lot easier. You set it on the ground, and then what you're gonna do is squat over the mirror, like that. And you can even get a little light if you have one, like maybe use your phone flashlight to kind of shine up so you have more visibility down there. But position the mirror so that you can see what you're doing. And then take your buzzer, and then what you're gonna do is very slowly, because you guys are probably new at this, so make sure you go slowly. This is kind of the risky area. It'll probably be easier if I'm facing away from you guys. So what you're gonna do is shave from cheek to crack, cheek to crack, cheek to crack, and make sure the blade is staying in contact with your skin fully. So keep it really pressed against your skin while you're doing this. So cheek to crack, and go over each area multiple times just to make sure that you get all the hairs. Sometimes you miss a few on the first round. So do that on both cheeks. And also guys, make sure you get the crack. That's why I say cheek to crack, because a lot of us guys grow hair in the crack, and that can be a turnoff for some. And it also just helps you to feel cleaner down there when you get the crack hair. So once you get the crack, then what you're gonna do is still squat over your mirror, and then look at the mirror, and very, very slowly, you guys, very slowly, what you're gonna do is pull your skin like this so that you just kind of stretch the skin around your hole so that it's pulled tight and the hair is more exposed, so that you can go in with this nice and slowly and just get all of those hairs. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. What you're gonna do is use the edge. So right here, the edge, not the flat part right here, but the edge. That's why I like this buzzer, because it's very versatile. But yes, use the edge nice and slowly. I usually just look down at the mirror. But yeah, nice and slowly, pull the skin. And then when you're done with it, feel around with your hand. Make sure it's all smooth. Make sure you didn't miss anything. Sometimes you'll miss a couple patches and you don't even realize it until you're done and all like cleaned up and everything. Like, oh, missed a spot. But yeah, guys, that is my guide of how to manscape. Just the basics of body hair. And as you know, I don't have very much body hair, so I don't wax or shave my back or my stomach or my chest, so I don't really know what goes into that. But for those of you out there that do struggle with a lot of body hair, I'm sure there's other videos here on YouTube that can teach you how to groom yourself with that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this. I hope I didn't just embarrass myself throughout this video. I know there's someone out there that really appreciated this video and learned a few things. So once you're all smooth and groomed up, you're ready to conquer the world. Go get him, Tiger. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought about it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.